exactly how long do you plan on following us?
Huh?
Considering how extravagant this city's architecture is, it actually provides quite clear lines of sight.
What are you...
Making it pretty hard to follow someone undetected.
Oh! Ow! I have no idea what you mean. Do you need something, stranger?
Do I need something? How about not having you following on our heels all around the city?
Following? Perish the thought. I've never seen you before in my life.
Still playing innocent, huh?
No. Forgive me. You are Edea Lee, yes?
Huh?
Is this man an acquaintance of yours?
No. At least I don't think so. I definitely remember someone this annoying.
Oh, I wouldn't expect you to remember me. This is our first meeting, after all. I am Rocca Pellar, famed across the realm as Pellar the Third. Oh, yeah.
Pellar? Whoa, as in the world-famous bard? Arca Pellar?
You know this Pellar person, you?
He was an incredible musician who spent his whole life traveling the world, leaving pupils behind in every land to carry on his legacy. His life reads more like a legend than anything else. Why, they say he saved nations from fearsome fiends with only his music.
That's right! We even sailed around the world to track down his legendary conductor's baton.
In music, the most important thing is to have fun. Boy, that takes me back.
Yes, that's right. Arca Pellar was my grandfather, which makes me his grandson.
Yeah, that's how it usually works.
So what does the grandson of a world-famous bard want from me, of all people?
Not anything I'd like my fans to overhear. Young though I may be, I'm quite well known.
If you're trying to go undercover, you could start by talking like a normal... never mind. Just lead the way.
Do, re, mi, fa, follow me.
Okay, it looks like we can talk in peace. But why here, of all places?
Why, this is my new studio! I purchased the property just last year! Is it not up to your satisfaction?
It seems to be soundproof at the very least.
Anyway, what do you need me here for?
Allow me to explain.
Yeah, before you do that, can you give the singing a rest?
It is a gift inherited from my grandfather. Whenever I open my mouth, me melody springs forth.
Then I suggest that you turn your little gift off before I turn it off for you.
I suppose silence is also a virtue. I will do my best.
Oh, well, there can be no doubt that you're a descendant of the great Arca Pellar.
What makes you so sure?
Why, his voice? Arca Pellar was the greatest musician of his era. Each song he penned became an instant classic. I'm actually a huge fan of the bard myself. Why, I have every album he ever released. Well, actually, 2 copies. One for playing and the other set aside in mint condition.
I still don't understand. Why were you following Edea?
Yeah, I never did anything to deserve being stalked by some weirdo musician. Not that I can remember, anyway.
If I might be so bold, Miss Edea Lee, you are the daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia, are you not?
Oh, so that's what this is all about. Okay, let's hear it then. Not that I want to.
First, you must know that I am terribly busy these days composing new songs for my upcoming tour, due to begin next year.
Let me guess. Someone's been interfering with your work? Someone from the Eternian forces?
Yes, two someones in fact, and just when I was about to set out in search of new inspiration.
It always comes back to the duchy, doesn't it?
I'm sure they mean no harm, of course, but I fear they both seem to want the same thing of me, and...
Let's cut to the chase. Who are they?
One would be the famed diva of the battlefield, Miss Praline a la mode. The other is a former captain of the Black Blades, one Hayreddin Barbarossa.
What? But they're both from the Black Blades, subordinates of my master.
The diva of the battlefield. She's not trying to get revenge on us, or is she?
I doubt it after 2 whole years. Leaving Praline aside, what would a pirate like Barbarossa want with a musician like you?
It seems to have something to do with a long-lost song of my grandfather's, which was discovered last year.
A never-before-heard song by the great Arca Pellar? Oh, this is the news of the century! How did I not hear about this?
It was Miss a la mode who first contacted me about the song. I believe she was seeking permission to use my grandfather's last song for something. But I could hardly understand the words that she was using, let alone that eardrum-piercing voice of hers. It was all quite beyond my understanding. She seems to have quite a singular way of expressing herself. Since I couldn't ascertain exactly what she wanted, I've been avoiding giving any sort of response. While I was pondering a course of action, I was accosted by a rather large gentleman, Captain Barbarossa. He tried to tell me something in that rough, ear-shattering voice of his, but his words were as unintelligible to me as Miss a la mode's. The best I could gather was that they each had some designs on my grandfather's last song.
But you have no idea what they want to do with it. That's why you were following Edea?
Yes, it was by complete coincidence that I came upon you today, but I thought if anyone could help me, it would be you.
They're my master's subordinates. And my master's problems are my problems. I guess I have no choice. I'll go see what they have to say. Where are they now?
Miss Praline should be rehearsing at Florum Square Garden in the upper part of the city. As for Barbarossa...
You don't know where to find him? Okay, we'll track him down and meet you back here.
As a matter of fact, I'm planning a trip to the Witherwood, north of the city, in search of inspiration from my latest masterpiece. Once you've figured out what those two want, come find me there.
All right, we will. But don't get your hopes up.
What's this all about? You can't just interrupt a rehearsal like that. We were on fire!
Praline a la mode, diva of the battlefield, and holder of the performer asterisk. This former member of the Black Blades went into early retirement after being booted off stage by Edea and her friends. Now she's making a comeback. And judging by her quick return to the top of the charts, her airhead act may just be for show. By what strange trick of fate do your paths cross anew?
Are you sure it's not your pants that are on fire? You sure came running over real quick when you spotted us.
That's just because I was surprised to see such a nostalgic face from my past.
Sure you were. We're here today on behalf of Rocca Pellar. You're not doing all this to get back at us for what happened at Eisen Bridge, are you?
Oh, you're here about the grand ship! That must mean that Rocca Pellar finally agreed to let me use my arrangement! Yay! Praline wins again!
Your arrangement? What are you talking about?
Boy, Edea, I know it's natural, but can't you do something about that dumb look on your face?
Look who's talking.
Anyhow, even you must know about the grand ship, the long-lost hit by the great Arca Pellar. It has potential, of course, but it's a bit, how should I say it, dusty, musty, passe. So, Praline, the Princess of Pop, took it upon herself to create an arrangement that is simply divine.
Wait a second. If I'm understanding you, you want to re-release this Arca Pellar classic as a new Praline a la mode song?
Totally! My miraculous arrangement has transformed a lame old number into a dazzling, cute masterpiece of modern music!
Wow. I guess I can't blame Rocca for being so confused. Well, at least we got the message. We'll pass it along to Pellar and see what he has to say. But I can't guarantee that he'll agree. Sounds like an awful lot to ask.
No way! I'm only asking for what the whole world wants. Not letting me release my arrangement would be a crime. Just think of the future generations of my fans you'd be depriving.
Edea? Do you think that Captain Barbarossa also...
I'd bet on it. An old-timey song about a ship sounds like it would be right up his galley. Hey, Praline! What's Barbarossa up to these days? You know, the Black Blade's old first mate?
What? That old sea dog? How should I know?
You know where he is, don't you?
I haven't the foggiest. No, I know nothing about that stupid, noisy sea dog who shows up in the dead of night in some suspicious fog bank in the South Seas.
Right. Well, you've been very helpful. Another boat trip, huh? I guess we've got no choice. Sorry for interrupting your rehearsal. We'll let you know what Pellar says.
It better be yes!
For you.
Here I go! Hut!
Aye! A life on the lonely sea is the only life for me. Yo-ho-ho! The life for me!
Edea, tell me that this isn't what I think it is?
It's a ghost ship, all right. In every sense of the word. I know how you feel. Oh, watch your feet. The deck's rotting there. Now then, if I remember, the captain's up astern.
Aye, there he be!
you are.
Ho ho! If it isn't the Sword Master's favorite pupil!
Captain Hayredden Barbarossa, man of the sea, and holder of the pirate Asterisk. As Lieutenant Commander of the Eternian Black Blades, Barbarossa once came to blows with Edea aboard his haunted ship. Ever seeking adventure and romance at sea, he sailed the realm's oceans on the SS Funky Francisca with his ghostly crew. By what strange trick of fate do your paths cross anew?
Or should I say, the proud daughter of our illustrious Grand Marshal, eh? Welcome aboard, milady!
How about you just call me Edea and turn the volume down a bit? I'm actually here to ask about that song you were just singing. Was that the Grand Ship?
Aye, so you know the song!
Unfortunately.
Oh, it's a timeless classic. A tribute to all the brave men who've lived and died on the wide seas, left to us by a visionary virtuoso. That Arca Pellar. He knew what it meant to be a man with dreams of adventure. A man among men, if ever there was one.
Those lyrics you were singing, were those also written by Master Pellar? Why, new lyrics written by the bard himself would be a discovery for the ages.
You really are a fanatic, aren't you?
More or less. I was improvising a bit. Trying to get at the heart of what old Pellar felt, you see. Me mateys here, they tell me that it was like a dream to listen the first few times, but now they want to die all over again. I know that's their way of saying that I've captured something real right here. Oh, those sentimental fools. Yeah.
Anyway, we're here on behalf of Rocca Pellar. He's the grandson of the guy who composed that melody you're singing. He seems pretty troubled by you and Praline. Any idea why that might be?
That scurvy diva! She just had to go stirring up trouble, eh?
Scurvy diva? That's some way to talk about a former comrade in arms.
I've got me mateys here. I don't need some prima donna who thinks she's better than me because she's got a gang of deluded fan lovers. She'd go around the Black Blades claiming that she did more than any of us, that she was the one pulling all the strings. Why, she'd even ask me what I was good for. After all, you're always drifting around on that dingy old dinghy of yours. When the Blades were disbanded, she took off solo without looking back. And when I finally hear from her, it's this!
A flyer for Praline's next concert. So, what's the problem? The diva of the battlefield, Praline a la mode, is set to cast a dazzling arise on the musical discovery of the century. What?
I guess she means she'll breathe new life into it?
It's one thing to set her sights on a classic like this and think she can just recycle it for her own gain. But that's not even the worst of it. Why, she means to take this timeless ode to the men of the sea and slap her silly, sappy lyrics all over it. She'd make a mockery of a man's dreams, turn a soul-stirring sea shanty into some sugar-spun confection of conceit. Why, I was so blinded with rage that I sailed straight to that Pellar lad to demand that he take action.
That's it. And you were probably roaring and shouting up a storm the same as you're doing now.
In other words, he shouted so loud that nobody heard him.
Are you serious?
At least we've heard both sides of the story now. Praline wants to use the song for herself, but she's so painful to listen to that her message was totally lost on Pellar.
And Barbarossa doesn't want her to, but he shouts so loud that no one can hear him past the ringing in their ears.
What a pair. Look, We're going to go and explain the situation to Rocca Pellar.
Don't you let that girl crush a man's dream! I know what old Arca would have wanted. The proof's right here in...
Oh, save your breath. The decision is Pellar's, not mine. Just stay here on your boat until we return. And try to keep it down, will you?
punches!
Let's give him all we've got!
for you.
Here I go! Hut! Shine forever, oh crystal, shine bright and shine strong.
You're in a good mood, you. What's that song you're singing?
Oh, was I doing that out loud? Sorry. It's a famous song by Arca Pellar. Shine forever, oh crystal.
A song about crystals? Was he a follower of the crystal orthodoxy?
Huh. Not that I know of.
Perhaps the orthodoxy lent him its patronage and helped make his music famous around the world.
Perhaps so. I have to say, though, I am surprised you guys are such fans of his work.
I wouldn't say we're fans. Not like you, at least. It just so happened that we met his pupils and learned some stuff about him.
It just so happened? I'm a huge fan, and even I haven't had the good fortune of meeting his pupils.
It's all Praline's fault. We had to talk to those people to figure out how to defeat her.
Yeah, her singing was something else. Talk about getting caught in the crossfire. Anyway, by chance, we heard about a famous bard who defeated a siren with the power of song.
Pellar silences the siren from his later years.
Incroyable! How do you know all these things?
He wrote a song about it, of course. It became a cult classic.
Both the siren and Praline had the power to beguile others with their song. So we figured we might get some clues on how to defeat her by talking to Pellar's pupils.
That's right. Remember the very last pupil? His clue was the key.
Ooh, wait, don't tell me. The most important thing is to have fun.
Right. Those were the words inscribed on the bard's baton. Once we found that, we were finally able to defeat Praline.
Wait, you mean you actually touched the bard's baton? Oh, do you still have it? I would give anything just to hold it. Please, please!
Weren't you using it as a back scratcher for a while? Anya's really told you off for it.
I don't remember. Where did we put that old thing?
But it's a modern-day treasure!
It wasn't like we needed it anymore. It was just a boring old stick.
Tell me about that pirate, too. The one who's arguing with Praline.
Oh, Captain Barbarossa. He was a member of the Black Blades with Praline. Second in command, no less. He'd known Master Kami Izumi for years and was his right-hand man. He was always going on about the spirit of adventure. I wonder if he ever found that... Susanoo, was it?
I don't know. I remember thinking he was looking in completely the wrong place.
A man of the sea, looking for the spirit of adventure. No wonder he was entrusted with carrying on Pellar's legacy.
I don't think he was exactly entrusted with it. Wait, I just remembered. The baton!
What about it?
I remember the last time I saw it. I used it to see if the potatoes were cooked through.
That's, creative use for it. So, what did you do with it afterwards?
It's strange, I don't remember. But there was a really crunchy breadstick.
Let's not mention this to you.
Deep within a labyrinth of falling leaves, the ruins of a once great faith, now looming before my face, I find myself rooted in place.
Is this how you always do your, composing?
Oh, so you return. But yes, the voice of eternity whispers directly into my heart, filling my soul with song.
And what does the voice of eternity tell you now?
Not a thing.
So can you hear it or not?
I could hear it when I had some peace and quiet.
Well, sorry for the interruption. If we aren't bothering you too much by doing what you asked, we managed to find out what your two friends wanted.
Did you now? By all means, la 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 la, let us hear it. So, in short, Miss Alamode wants to arrange my grandfather's song in her own style.
You really didn't understand her, did you?
Yes, I hadn't the slightest idea what she was trying to say. Her words seemed utterly devoid of any meaningful content.
That's one way to say it.
And you say that Captain Barbarossa has also taken an interest in my grandfather's song?
Taken an interest? More like he's fallen head over heels in love with it. That's why he's against letting Praline remix it into something else. He says it would be an insult to your grandfather's legacy. That said, he may just be projecting his own feelings onto your grandfather. I wouldn't worry too much about...
On the contrary, I cannot dismiss his claims so easily.
Huh?
The long-lost score of my grandfather's. It included a scrawled note in his own hand. Dedicated to all who understand the mysteries of the sea and the hearts of the men who sail it.
You had to complicate things again, didn't you? Was that note made public when the song was discovered?
Yes, it was quite an event. Every detail of the discovery was announced.
So Barbarossa must know about it too.
I never heard. What sort of an Arca Pellar fan am I?
This diva of the battlefield, Praline a la mode. She is as famous around the world today as my grandfather was in his own time. Personally, I have no objection to her making an arrangement of my grandfather's song to add to her repertoire.
But if you agree to that...
I would be disregarding the feelings of a man who understands my grandpa Arca's wishes perhaps better than any other. Miss Edea, would you mind terribly if I erupted in song for just a moment?
If you must.
2 wishes, 1 me. Tell me what to do, such is my plea.
Such is his plea!
Edea?
Nothing. Praline's arrangement is probably what her fans, pretty much everyone in the world, want to hear. Who are we to oppose that? And yet, we know what Arca Pellar wanted, and Praline isn't it. Not even close. So do we refuse her and honor the bard's wishes? What's the right answer? What advice should I give Rocca? Listen, Rocca. You can't let Praline just have her way with your grandfather's song like that. I know she's a super famous star right now with a legion of fans who would love to hear a new song from her, let alone a remix of a long-lost song by the great Arca Pellar.
It would be quite the event. Why, it could become the hit of the century!
But your grandfather wasn't trying to write a hit.
You speak of the dedication on the sheet music, but those were just idle musings.
It doesn't matter. That was what your grandfather intended for this song. Those were Arca Pellar's last wishes. Your grandfather meant for that song to belong to those who loved the sea, those who understood a man's heart. It wasn't written for some fly-by-night diva to net herself a worldwide hit and a new legion of fans. And definitely not for her to remake it into some obnoxious pop song designed to drive men wild. That's... no way.
Is this? It sounds like my grandfather's song, but somehow lighter and cheaper.
Where's my manager? I won't suffer these insults!
Praline, what are you doing here?
And it's not just me, you meanie! When you insult me, you're insulting every one of my fans and believers too! And you, Mr. Pellar, ignoring my request that you could go gallivanting across the realm? And after I went to all the trouble of breathing divine new life into your grandpa's moldy oldie!
New life? You never spared a single thought for the original composer's feelings. You never show a shred of respect for anyone but yourself. You're a walking disaster!
Why are you always so mean? I can't believe you call me that!
And divine? All you did was rip off another artist. You're no better than a thief.
Thief? Rip off? Ooh, the nerve! It's an homage! An homage! Imitation is Praleen's sincerest form of admiration, you know? And I can prove it! I went and asked for permission to use the song, now didn't I?
You've got an answer for everything, huh? Your excuses are impressive, which is more than I can say about your singing and dancing skills.
That's it! I've just about had enough to hear with you! You want to hear the truth? I hate these dodgy old songs. No one but a geezer would be caught dead singing the original. And I know all my fans would agree. Everyone around the world would hate it. What's the point in preserving some musty old song that everyone's going to hate anyway? There's no reason why I shouldn't be allowed to rearrange it into a girly, groovy sensation of style. Get with the times, Edea! You know what's hot? I'm what's hot! Too hot for you to handle. My popularity and my strength are world class now, you know? Fight me, and you'll get burned. Wow, really? You think you can defeat me again? Edea, you're even dumber than you look! Okay, places everyone! This is no rehearsal! We're going to make this idiot change her tune. Praline here! All eyes on me, thank you! I'll give you the show of your life! Leave it to moi!
I'm not pulling any punches.
Say your prayers!
see Praline a la mode live in concert at Florham Square Garden! And hurry! Tickets are selling fast!
And that's enough.
Yes! I wasn't finished with my pitch yet! I'm gonna call my manager!
What a piercing voice she has! Is that the secret to charming the world as a singer these days?
She's mostly just charming the male half of the world. And something tells me it isn't with her voice.
In any event, I must thank you for helping me resolve my dilemma. Might I ask you to pass along the good news to Captain Barbarossa?
I think it's about time you started taking care of things for yourself.
Yes, of course, but I don't even know where to find him.
Somehow, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Aye! A life on the lonely sea is the only life for me. Yo-ho-ho! The life for me! Ha! So this is where you've been hiding out. I was looking all over for you lot.
As boisterous as ever, isn't he?
You've got to be loud if your voice is going to rise above the waves, boy!
Did you run into Praline on your way here?
Oh, that one! Ha! She ran right by me, crying and shrieking about some nonsense or t'other.
Rocca here decided against letting her rearrange his grandfather's last song.
My grandfather wished for that song to be passed on to someone who understands the sea, as well as what lies within a man's heart. I am proud to be able to entrust it to a true man of the sea, like yourself, Captain Barbarossa.
Well, blow me down! Ha! This is sweeter than any booty I've plundered. We'll sing her right. When we pull in a large hall, when the winds are kind, when the storms blow in, and the gulls are only accompaniment. Aye, aye. A life on the lonely sea is the only life for me. Yo-ho-ho, the life for me.
How can anyone be so loud?
C'est horrible! My head is about to split in two!
I will not la 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 lose to you!